What's going on, Knicks fans? In today's show, we're going to break down the latest trade rumors surrounding Quentin Grimes and Obi Toppin. But I want to ask you guys a question first. If you could only keep one of these young dudes when it comes to a Donovan Mitchell trade, let me know who you're rolling with. Type 6 for Quentin Grimes or type 1 for Obi Toppin. Welcome into New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. In today's show, we're going to break down the latest Donovan Mitchell trade rumors and how those are impacting Obi Toppin and Quentin Grimes. And then at the end of the show, we're going to break down ESPN's record prediction for the New York Knicks. And you probably guessed it, ESPN, they were hating. It honestly pissed me off. We're going to break that down at the end of the show. But let's start with the latest trade rumors, because reports are coming out that the New York Knicks are open to including Obi Toppin in a trade for Donovan Mitchell. And like we probably already all knew, you were going to have to include one of the three of Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, and Emmanuel Quickley. You might have to include two. I don't know what the deal is going to be like, but in a trade, you got to give up to get something. And it sounds like the New York Knicks have decided that Obi Toppin is the player that they are willing to include in a deal for Donovan Mitchell. On the flip side, the Knicks are not interested in trading Quentin Grimes. The report comes from Tony Jones. He was on the drive with Spence Checkets last week, and he said the Knicks are not trying to include Quentin Grimes in a Donovan Mitchell trade. So what we're going to do in today's show is kind of look at the stats for Obi and Quentin Grimes and see what they did when they got certain minutes per game in a game, and then we'll decide as a unit, as the real ones, who the Knicks should give up, Quentin Grimes or Obi Toppin. But first, make sure you're subscribed, because when and if a Donovan Mitchell trade happens, we are going to be going live on the channel. We put out videos every single day around the latest Knicks news and rumors, 100% free content, live shows every week, and audience interaction. If that sounds like something that you would enjoy, trust me, you will. We're a one-stop shop for everything related to the New York Knicks on YouTube. So hit that big red button, subscribe, and help us get to 12,000 subscribers. I think we should look at first when deciding Quentin Grimes or Obi Toppin. Let's look at what both of them did in the 2021 season. They both played about 17 minutes per game. Obi played in 72 games, while Quentin Grimes played in 46. He had that nasty knee injury down the back half of the season, bounced back from and played to finish out the year. But Grimes only averaged 6 points per game. Obi, 9 points per game. 2 rebounds for Grimes, 3.7 for Obi, about 1 assist for both. 40% from the deck from Quentin Grimes, nearly 39% from deep, which is really good, especially for a rookie, while Obi was a more efficient player from the field, 53%, and only 31% from downtown. But I think if you look at their total numbers, it doesn't really make all that much sense. It doesn't tell the full story, because 17 minutes per night doesn't really tell you what you want to know about a player. So let's look at the games that Obi Toppin started in. He started 10 games this season, and he looked good in those 10 starts. 20 points per game, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, was 57% shooter from the field, and shot almost 44% from downtown. When Obi Toppin got the minutes, when he was able to start, he produced. I don't think he's always going to be a 43% shooter from downtown, but I do think he could be a 35, 36% guy. This graphic on screen breaks down the percentages and averages that Obi Toppin had on certain minutes per night. When he played just 10 to 19 minutes per game, he only averaged 7 points and 3 rebounds, 52% from the floor, and 24% from 3. But when he played in 20 to 29 minutes per night, which happened 12 times, he was better. 13 points per game, almost 6 rebounds, and the efficiency stayed the same while the three-point percentage went up. But what about when he played 30 to 39 minutes per game? He did that 4 times, and he played really, really well in those contests. 23 points, 7 rebounds, almost 58% from the floor, and 48% from downtown. He also played three games where he played more than 40 minutes per night, and in those contests, he balled out. 27 points, 7 rebounds, 56%, and 40+% from 3. When Obi Toppin got the minutes, he produced. And as a young player, that's what you need to do. You're not always going to get the minutes that you want right away, but when he got those opportunities, he took advantage of them and showed everybody the type of player he could be. Tom Thibodeau admitted that he had that moment where he saw that Obi Toppin could be a valuable player in the NBA. I'm all in on Obi Toppin. I think he's going to be a good player for a long time in this league. But I also feel the same way about Quentin Grimes. So let's take a look at some advanced stats from QG. He only started 6 games this season, but like Obi, when he started, he played really well. 13.5 points per game, 3.3 rebounds, almost an assist and a half per night, and was extremely efficient. 45.8% from the field and almost 44% from downtown. He's a sniper. He can play defense, and when he started, he showed you what he could do. But what about a bigger sample size? When he played more than 20 minutes per night, which he did 15 times this past season, I think this kind of tells you more about the player that he can be. 12 points per night, a steal and a half, 44+% from the field, and downtown. And the thing I love about Grimes is we saw the evolution of the way that his game is changing. We saw in the Summer League him adding more stuff to his bag, putting the ball on the court, attacking the rim, getting others involved, becoming a facilitator. I have strong feelings about both of these players. I love Obi. I love Quentin Grimes. I don't know which one I would choose, but I do know this. I'm not trading both. I don't care what Danny Ainge wants. No way am I going to be giving up Obi Toppin and Quentin Grimes. Those are two of the most valuable chess pieces I have in my bag if I'm Leon Rose, and I am not ready to move off both of them. If you want one of them, sure, because in a trade, you got to spend money to make money. And Donovan Mitchell is going to make you a lot of money for the New York Knicks. I'm just not sure if it's worth giving up both of them. I don't think I would. I wouldn't. I'm going to say that. I would not trade Obi Toppin and Quentin Grimes. But since I was unsure and I wasn't really able to make my mind up, I want to ask you guys that same question. Would you include Quentin Grimes and Obi Toppin in a Donovan Mitchell trade? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm curious what all you guys have to say, so let me know in the comments section. I'll be down there reading all of your replies. I want to give a shout out to all of the real ones out there. You guys have been showing up and showing out, so much so that I made my boss get you guys a t-shirt, a Knicks Now very own Real One t-shirt. You can get yours today by going to chatsports.com/real Knicks. That's chatsports.com/real Knicks. All of the link to this t-shirt in the comments and description of today's show. I know a couple of you have already bought it. You guys have hit me up and let me know. If you buy this shirt and when you buy this shirt, take a picture, send it to me on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_, and I'll put all those pictures on the show. And let's also hit a Real One roll call. Maybe you don't want to buy the shirt. That's cool, but you can always be a real one by dropping a real one in the comments section. My favorite part of today's show. It was fun talking about Donovan Mitchell and Quentin Grimes and Obi. I thought those were some cool stats that we cooked up. But ESPN, they put out a record prediction for everybody in the Eastern Conference. And for the New York Knicks, they had the Knicks finishing 39-43, which would be 10th in the Eastern Conference. And man, oh man, did this spark Twitter on fire? Did this fire me up a little bit? It was upsetting because it's continuously the same thing. The Knicks are going to get talked about in a negative light by ESPN because it helps them in the ratings department. Before I unleash and give you all my takeaways from the record prediction, I want to read you what they had to say in their article so you can kind of understand, I guess, their logic of thinking. Not all that logical, but this is what they said. Things might be looking up for Tom Thibodeau's Knicks squad after they landed free agent guard Jalen Brunson, and chatter continues surrounding the prospects of Donovan Mitchell heading to Madison Square Garden via a trade. But it remains to be seen just how much better this team got over the summer. The Knicks hope Julius Randle can regain his all-star form and that R.J. Barrett and young players such as Obi Toppin and Emmanuel Quickley continue to develop for a team that had high expectations heading into last season. My initial reaction to when I saw 39-43 and 10th in the Eastern Conference, I had 5 immediate takeaways. The Knicks won 37 games last year, and that's with Evan Fournier and Alec Burks starting over 60 games. You're telling me that Jalen Brunson and replacing Alec Burks is only worth 2+ wins? That's upsetting. Are the young players not going to take a step Is Emmanuel Quickly not going to get better? Is Obi Toppin not going to get better? Is RJ Barrett not going to get better? Is Mitchell Robinson not going to get better? Is Cam Reddish? Is Quentin Grimes? Are all the young players on this team just going to stay the same and not get better? And that's not going to contribute to more wins? Derrick Rose played in just 26 games last year. And when he came to the Knicks back in the 2020 and 2021 season, he was arguably the most valuable player on that team. What he was able to do as a scorer off the bench was incredible. He's reinvented his game. And if the Knicks get a healthy version of Derrick Rose, you're telling me that's not going to improve their win total? And Randall cannot be that bad again. I think Randall is closer to the player we saw when he was most improved, second team All-NBA, top 10 in the MVP voting, than what we saw last year, where he shot 40% from the field and 30% from downtown. If you get a middle ground of Julius 2021 and 2022, this team is going to win 40 games. Jalen Brunson alone, I think, makes you a team that's above 500. I hate that ESPN does this. It really just comes off as a lazy take. I feel like they really didn't analyze this Knicks roster. But as we know, it's easy to hate on the Knicks, and Knicks for clicks, it always works. I think the Knicks are over 39 wins. I think they win more than that. 37 last year. They get a healthy Derrick Rose, Jalen Brunson, the kids grow. I think you win as least as 41 games. I think you finish 500 or better. I think you're closer to 43 wins, though, with Jalen Brunson. But I want to hear from you. Let's play a little game. Over and under. 39 wins for the New York Knicks this season. Type O for over or type U for under. I want to say thank you, and I appreciate everybody that's made New York Knicks Now a part of their day today. If you made it this far in the video, we'll do this. I'll follow everybody back that gives me a follow on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. Just mention me or send me a DM letting me know that you came from this video.